Well, hey, Phil Long family, Dr. Scott U-Haul coming at you with another Healthy Habits virtual coffee chat on Tuesday afternoon. We've got some special guests today from the Energy Resource Center. We've got Mike Mazzola and Ken Hall. They're going to talk to us about taking charge of your home health, using some common practices, and they're going to give us the specifics about how to keep our house healthy and happy over the fall and the winter holidays. So we're going to have Mike start talking a bit right off, tell us a little bit about the vision and the mission of what they do there at the Energy Resource Center. And then Ken's going to come in and talk to us about specifics of what you can do to make sure that your house is safe and healthy and happy over the holidays. As usual, I want to say thank you to Kangaroo Coffee. And this week, I really want to bring up something special. This Friday on the 30th, Kangaroo Coffee is supporting the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And if you can get over and get yourself a cup of Joe, 10% of the proceeds are going to go to a great cause. So I encourage you, get over and get some Kangaroo Coffee and help the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. So as usual, let's get after our quarter hour of Wellness Power. And like I said, as always, let's a little bit of a disclaimer here. Make sure you get your annual physical. If you're here on the Phil On Health Insurance Plan, you can get that done through our on-site Care Here clinics. There's no charge for that since it's preventive care. And get your blood work done so that we can identify a health issue at an early risk. And if you're not on our health insurance, still get that done through your provider. Like I said, there's no charge for preventive care, and it's really good to get that done annually so that you can identify something if it does pop up at an early state. So without further ado, I'd like to have Mike come up and talk to us a little bit about the Energy Resource Center, and then we'll let Ken take over the show after that. So Mike, are you up there? Let me unmute you. Can I unmute Mike? There we go.
I gotcha. Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome, Mike.
Appreciate it, guys. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
All right. I turned my video off because we've been having trouble with our internet at the office, and it seems to work a little better just by voice. So I apologize for not having my face. We are. So I see Randy Gradisher and Gina Sacropani, both good friends of Energy Resource Center, and we're a nonprofit construction company essentially, and so we're all charity. We do free energy efficiency upgrades for families that qualify based on their income. So everything we do is completely free. And the income qualifications are, there are some automatic qualifiers, but in general, it's people that, based on their household size, live 200% below the federal poverty guideline. And so it sounds like it's, for super low income people, but actually we have a lot of just good, hardworking families that are our clients. For a family of four, a household of four, the qualifying criteria is about $52,000 or less, which is just a lot of good people, good, hardworking people. Our clients, a lot of our clients are seniors on fixed incomes. People come from all different backgrounds, all different ages. But those are our clients that we serve, and the work that we do provides, again, it's free energy upgrades that save people money on their utility bills. So we install furnaces, we insulate homes in the attic and the sidewalls and the crawl space and basements, hot water heaters, refrigerators, air sealing, weather stripping, light bulbs. It's a whole series of things that we do. And it saves on average about 25% on utility bills. And that's an average, actually. A lot of our clients save quite a bit more.
You can apply for that online, right?
I'm sorry?
You can apply for that for your benefits online, correct?
Yep, you can apply. You go to our website, it's erc-co.org. Our office here in Colorado Springs is 719-591-0772. Or you could shoot me an email at mikem@erc-co.org.
And Gina Sacropani last week sent out a company-wide email about your services too. So folks on the chat, if you're looking for that, go back and find Gina's email from the corporate communications department.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So collectively last year, we have 4 offices, Colorado Springs, Denver, Loveland, and Alamosa, and we cover 27 counties across the state. Collectively last year, through 900 homes that we worked on, we saved our clients $300,000 in utility bills.
That's great. That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
I tell you, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. And the work, because it's permanent, it's not just 1 year. So when we insulate a home or put in a new furnace, 20 years from now, it's still doing its job. And
Right.
so over the course, that 1 year's worth of work, $300,000 turns into $6 million over the course of 20 years because it's saving energy every day, all day for 20 years.
Well, with that, let's get into some fun stuff. Mike, why don't you share today's quiz? We got a couple quizzes we'd like to share, and put your answer in the chat box, ladies and gentlemen, and qualify for some goodies. You want to ask them? Go ahead, Mike. And
do you want me to read it?
Yeah. Oh, can you see it? I'm sorry, you might not have your thing open.
No, I can. Yeah. So carbon monoxide. Answer the right question. Carbon monoxide. Is it A, does not occur naturally, only by burning fossil fuels? B, is called the quote unquote silent killer. C, smells like a rotten egg. D, has a hard to see light blue. Sorry,
it's got a little bit of a color to it. So give you guys a second or two to put your answer in the chat room, and the people that get the right answer, we're going to have a raffle, and whoever wins that raffle, we're going to give you a carbon monoxide detector. So put that in, and let's go to the second question. Mike, you want to ask that one to the group too, please?
Sure. Yeah. If you replace your top 5 most used light bulbs with LED bulbs, how much money would you save annually on your utility bill? $25, $50, $75, or $100? And
that's just from switching out your 5 light bulbs, correct?
Your top 5 most used light bulbs.
So I tell you, well, go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, put your answers in there. We've got tons of responses. I can see that. We got 30. So that's great information. And once again, I want to say thank you, Mike, and thank you, Ken, for being here today and sharing information with us. And Mike, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we let Ken take over the show?
No, we just really appreciate being here. We appreciate the support of Phil Long Ford. You guys have donated to us financially. You support us by, educating your employees about our services. We really appreciate the partnership.
That's great. Yeah, the Phil Long family of dealerships, we're all over the place, and we try to give back to the community. And being that you're a nonprofit, that's just a great relationship that we have. So I tell you what, let's bring the muscle into today's presentation. Ken Hall, furnace superstar. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the things that the average day person can do to their house to try to improve the efficiency of it? And we've got a list of some things here. If you just go down and give us your expertise on them, that would be great.
You bet. Thanks for having me today. So yeah, the house is definitely a system of interconnected elements. We call it the whole house system. Generally, when you call somebody out, the insulators, they're just looking at the insulation. The furnace guys, they're just looking at the HVAC. The window guys just want to take your money. And we take all these systems, put it into a computer modeling program, and it's site specific. And we can actually, see what's going to do best in this particular home. As far as your furnace and your air conditioning system, replacing that filter at least every 90 days is a great idea. Now, as far as the annual service on furnaces, if you have a brand new furnace, you could probably have it serviced every other year until it's about 10 years old. And then you want to have it serviced every year. Make sure that they're going to be doing what's called a flue gas analysis when they check your furnace or your water heater. And that is actually sampling the carbon monoxide in the venting system. And it tells us 2 things. First of all, it tells us how well is the appliance burning. Second of all, it tells us if there were to be a carbon monoxide emergency, would it kill you? So the flue gas analysis is kind of an important thing. Most contractors don't do it, but if you're going to have your furnace serviced, I would insist on one. Your air ducts and air filters. Your air ducts, if they have never been cleaned, it's a good idea to clean them. Changing your filter in your furnace is like changing the oil in your car. It's the best thing that you can do to extend the longevity of the appliance. So what type of filter is best? It depends on the type of system you have, but generally speaking, they go by MERV, M-E-R-V ratings. And a MERV 10 filter is a good filter to have in your furnace, but you should change it about every 30 days, especially if you have air conditioning. In the summertime, it's very important to be changing that filter when you have air conditioning, because airflow across that coil and air conditioning at this altitude is very important. As far as water savings, water heaters, we like to see the temperature of your water between 120 and 130 degrees. If it's lower than 120, you have the chance of some bacteria building up. And if it's over 130, well, that's scalding. So if you have small children, you can run the risk there. A blanket is a great idea almost all the time for your water heater. You have to check on the manufacturer's instructions, though, because some of the newer water heaters will not let you put, they've revamped the water heaters in the last few years, and a lot of them have enough insulation in there, and they will prohibit you from running a blanket on top of that, or it will invalidate the warranty. So just be careful when you're wrapping your water heater. Also, wrapping your water lines, about 6 feet of the water lines, both the hot and the cold, off of the top of the water heater is a great idea. It's a money saver, and it helps keep that water, that warm water in there. So the only thing you want to be careful with is on your venting system. If you have a natural gas water heater, you have to be careful, because sometimes those copper lines run really close to the venting system, and you don't want to get that insulation within about 2 or 3 inches of that venting system. Showers, everybody knows we should take short showers. I have 2 teenage girls, so that's kind of tough to do. But the shorter shower you take, you know, the more water you're going to save. They have these really cool shower heads now. Low flow shower heads are great. You know, they got high pressure, they're low flow. They have these new shower heads. They have a little chain on them. And everybody likes to turn on their shower and let it get warm before they jump in, especially in the wintertime. This thing will heat up to like 95 degrees, and then it automatically shuts it off. You get in the shower, you pull on the chain, and then the water starts to flow at 95. They're great. Your washer and your dryer, of course, the newer washers are going to be Energy Star rated. Those are great. You can wash all your clothes in cold water. That's always a good thing. As far as your dryer is concerned, keep the lint trap clean, and you should periodically clean the venting of the dryer. Make sure that there's no clogs in the end where the cap comes out of the house. And occasionally, most people will have some hard pipe and some flexible pipe on their dryer. You should not have any more than about 6 feet of flexible pipe from your dryer to the outside. It's a great idea every 4 or 5 years to change out that flexible pipe, because it gets pretty clogged. The ridges in there trap quite a bit of that lint. Your dishwasher, of course, an Energy Star rated appliance is great, and using the no heat dry, just let those things air dry. It's kind of a pain, but it does save a good bit of energy. All right, everyday things people can do to be home healthy. Windows, they are the least important for air leaks, also for energy savings. I got to hand it to the window guys. The marketing guys for Windows have the entire country they make these little, you can get them at Home Depot. It's a dryer vent cleaning brush. You can buy those at Home Depot, and you can just shove them up in there, and it'll get the first few feet of that, and that helps a lot. So the marketing guys for Windows have the entire country convinced that if you want to save money on your energy bill, you better grab 30 grand worth of Windows. They're very far down the list. Windows are the least important for air leakage. They're not cost effective to replace usually. If you have even an old 1970s OLAC double pane window, it's probably fairly energy efficient, and it'll be, if you change it out, it's going to take between 50 and 100 years for that new window to pay itself off at energy savings. If the windows are not operable or they're broken, that's a different story. But as far as energy savings and air leakage, windows are not the way to go. LED lighting. that is the way to go. So when we do our modeling systems, when we do our modeling, the computer modeling on these homes, time after time after time, at the very top of the list is lighting as far as your savings to investment ratio. So it pays to change out your incandescent and even your CFL lights to LED. And personally, I changed out a few years ago, about 4.5 years ago, I changed out all my lights to the CFLs. And I just don't like the spectrum. I changed them all out to, I changed them all out to the LEDs, and it's I love the spectrum better. Yes, the carbon monoxide detectors. I saw that. Wonderful thing. It's a great story. We love to see that, but I do recommend spending some money and getting a low-level carbon monoxide detector. The carbon monoxide detectors you get at Home Depot, they may or may not save your life depending on how bad the carbon monoxide emergency is. So I love to see that a CO alarm saves somebody's life. Thank you for that. Check your batteries and test your carbon monoxide alarms every year. Many times on the back of that alarm, you'll see a manufacturing date or an expiration date. So carbon monoxide detector should be replaced every 7 to 10 years or on the expiration date listed on the back of the unit. The same with smoke detectors. Those, you need to check those every once a year. Just, it's noisy, but go ahead and do it, and it'll help you a lot. You want me to touch on vapor barriers or gas leak testing, any of that stuff, Scott?
Go ahead and give you a minute or two to say something on that. Go right ahead.
So if you have a bare crawl space, dirt crawl space, it's a great idea to put some plastic down there. It helps keep any moisture, foul odors. It's not a radon mitigation system, but it can help to keep that radon out of the home if you have a good vapor barrier rather than just a dirt floor. Your gas leak testing, when they come to check your furnace, make sure they're testing the gas lines for leak. ASHRAE bath fans. ASHRAE compliant bath fans are bath fans that we install that run at a very low RPMs constantly, and then when somebody walks into the bathroom, it ramps up. This helps get all the bad air out of the house, and just natural infiltration will bring in fresher air. It's called air exchanging. Lead paint, of course, if you have a pre-1978 home, you just want to be careful when you're doing renovations. Make sure that you either test for lead paint or use lead-safe practices. Asbestos, if you think you have some asbestos, if you're going to do some remodeling, we always test the sheetrock, and we'll test sheetrock like in a corner on the ceiling or 4 feet up from the floor. So we get the sheetrock, the mud, and the tape, because they still use asbestos in some of these products. And we do see hot asbestos samples come up in newer homes. Also, the popcorn ceiling should be tested before any renovations.
Wow.
So, and just doing some air sealing between the garage and the house, along the bottom plate, any holes, electrical penetrations, and also just a nice door seal and sweep on that door going into the garage helps keep that stuff out. And remember, never warm up your car in the garage.
I think that's good information there. I think that's smart. Yeah, keep the garage door open. Well, hey, I tell you what, Mike and Ken, I thank you for that. If you gave a lot of information, ladies and gentlemen, if you want, if there's something that you missed and you'd like some contact information, get a hold of me, and I can get you in touch with those gentlemen. But hey, guys, thank you so very much. It's so important that we take care of our house, and there's just so many things that we need to look at. So once again, gentlemen, thank you for your time today. We've got about 40 people that have made comments in the chat room, and to save some time, the answer to the first question is that carbon monoxide is the silent killer. And then the second answer, the correct answer is that you'd save about $75 a month, $75 a year on your utility bill if you switched out to LED lights. So thank you, everybody. Great coffee chat today. Next week, we're going to have another a special guest. Lisa Camarillo is going to take us through a 10-minute yoga at your desk section, because the following day, November 4th, the day after the election, is National Stress Awareness Day, where you find out what causes you stress, you try to manage it, and that's what Lisa's going to do. She's going to take us through a stress reduction program. So once again, everybody, thank you for checking into the coffee chat, and I'll see you next week at the same time and at the same place. Good day, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.